Okay, everyone, so now we're going to talk about your week 1 homework. So this is the Websites and Projects intro web page. This is not a particularly challenging thing for you guys. It's just really to get you warmed up and used to using Cloud9 as our development environment. But it also just kind of lets me, it just kind of greases the wheels and gets us started. So let's dive in. I've got this in the student view so that you can kind of see what we're doing from your point of view. My view into this is significantly different, so that's why I choose to show it this way. So don't mind the little fuchsia border around everything. Now, what I'm asking for is a web page that introduces you. So this is kind of the content itself will be a little bit of your background. So there's going to be some headings that I want to have, some paragraphs, and then just load that into a Cloud9 workspace, and then share it with me. I think that's the one thing that I didn't probably put in this assignment that I'd like to kind of stress is I need it would be best if you guys could share that with me, because anyway, we'll get to that. So let's dive in here. Notice that I've already created a workspace, but I will create a new one. So we'll call this one we'll do this Randy Hall week 1 or something like that. This is my week 1 assignment. Go ahead and choose the team that you should already have joined from the previous videos. Make sure that it's a public workspace, and honestly, I would suggest choosing the blank. If you choose the HTML5, that's no problem. Generally speaking, though, I wouldn't bother with any of the other ones at this point because they're just going to basically preload a bunch of software that you're not going to be using for these. So don't worry about that at the moment. For now, you can choose the blank or the HTML5. I'm going to choose the blank workspace and create it. So we'll stand here. Generally speaking, this goes relatively fast. You shouldn't have to wait more than maybe 30 seconds. Here we go. All right. So when you end up in there, you'll see that you have an empty workspace. It just has this readme.md, md being a markdown file. So you can look at, so this is kind of a documentation format. Generally speaking, we're not going to be concerning ourselves with it too much. What I am interested in doing is creating a new file. So you can come up and use Control-N or go to the File menu, click New File. Come down here and notice that it automatically chooses HTML. There's no particular reason why it does that, but the first thing that I would do is I would immediately save the file. So File, Save, and choose index.html. All right, so now you've definitely marked it as an HTML file because you've saved it with that .html extension. And now we can get started. So generally speaking, the one thing that I want you guys to realize is that the editor in this thing is pretty straightforward, and it's very capable, off the shelf, to the point that you can start coding right away. I would, you could open we'll click over here, open HTML. Notice that when I start typing, you start to see there's highlighting already happening. So it has an autocomplete feature, and this particular one has a snippet. It talks about a snippet, and it kind of reveals what it's about to insert in there if you decide to hit enter right now. If you wanted to keep typing, you could, but if you want to use this snippet, you can just hit enter, and it basically replaces your text with that. And if you wanted to keep going, you could type head, and then meta charset UTF-8. These are the kind of required elements. Title, which is just a tag, so it's going to go in here. Introducing Randy Hall. and maybe that can be the all of your head section for now. That's all you need. Is those are the two required elements in the HTML to be able to validate. And then if you come in here and type body, you'll see that it drops in a body tag, and then you're off to the races. You can have a single H1 tag, so you can be like all about me, and then underneath that you might have H2 tags that would be starting to talk about those required elements that are in the homework assignment. So for purposes of speed, I'm not going to type in this video. I'm going to copy and paste one set here of content that I've already created. So notice that if it rolls off the end of the screen, you do have the ability under the view menu to wrap lines or wrap them to the print margin being this little line right here. If you wrap lines, they'll wrap at the end of the screen, which is perfectly fine for most purposes. If you wanted to wrap to the print margin, it's going to look a little bit narrower. So it's your preference, whatever you want to do. But if you don't see the wrap lines, at least lines will just continue to roll off the right edge of the screen, and the screen will scroll to the right, and then you're going to have to scroll back to the left to be able to see kind of the other stuff. All right, now that we've created this, we should save the file. You'll know that it's saved because it doesn't have a dot on the when you modify the file, notice that this becomes a dot right here. When you save the file, the dot goes away and it just becomes that X, so that it kind of gives you a visual indication that this file has not been, it has some modifications that you need to write to disk or abandon if you're not going to. All right, we've got this now, this index.html up. We can just hit run, and what's going to happen is it's going to see that you've got an HTML file, so it automatically starts the Apache HTTPD, which is the web server, and will start serving this URL. Okay, and what's nice about this is that since I've used index.html, I can just take this, open a new tab in my Chrome browser, paste that in, and I should see my own page. Okay, so notice that I've got my introducing me. There's all this text here, and it involves, and all of these are the sections that I'm looking for in the homework. So HTML experience, CSS experience, my bad, it's a mouthful. My JavaScript experience, my work online, what kind of work I've done in the web, a section for other headings, and then I've chosen a different heading. I've chosen, instead of these, which are H2s, this one's like an H2. This one is an H3 heading, so it's like web application. So I my go-to my web application choice. Who is this guy? I would normally expect you guys to link to the web application that you're referencing. A little bit about me, so it's like my byline, which of course I went kind of overboard with, an upcoming event, and then my goals with the class. That's all that's required in terms of content. It's not necessary right now to format it beyond this. I mean, realistically, we're going to do some additional things to this, but this is the first assignment that I did last year when I ran the class, and the direction we went from here was different than the way we're going to go this time. So generally speaking, if you feel the need, if you have the time, you feel the need to embellish this, you want to throw Bootstrap into it, you're welcome to, because we're not going to be kind of spending a lot of time on those sorts of aspects. We're going to be spending more time on kind of more advanced pieces of this. So it might actually be a good idea, not this week necessarily, but certainly by next week, to start to talk about how to have a more styled look, because what we're going to start doing is we're going to start talking about things like transitions and animation. So anyway, we'll get to that. So the point of this is that now you have this URL up here that points to your website. What I'd like is that you copy this. So you come in here, you'll copy it, go back, and when you submit your assignment, I'd like that to be the website URL that you paste in here. Okay, and when you click Submit Assignment, that's what's going to be you're going to be sent to. Okay, and as soon as you see that you're done there, you're finished with this assignment, and you can go on and enjoy your day. I almost forgot to mention, I wanted to make sure that you guys share your workspaces with me before you kind of turn them in. That would be very helpful. If you don't, then I'm going to ask you to, and it becomes kind of a thing. But it's like, so the general expectation I would like is that when you finished your work, when you've done the work in your workspace, or even if you set it up, you can do it this way, so that if you have trouble, I can kind of pop in there and assist, is to come over here to this button over next to kind of your face and the memory and CPU and disk readout. Click on Share, and it's going to say share this workspace. You can, what I ask is that, just remember to come down here to under the Invite People area and type Randy SRJC. Click Invite. In this case, because it's my workspace, it already shows that I'm added to it, but that would allow me to get to be able to collaborate and jump in and help out if you are hitting a snag or anything like that. So just be sure that you add that to your workflow as you are working in these, when you create these workspaces at some point before you submit your homework. You should probably add me in terms of sharing the workspace with my username, which is Randy SRJC. That way I'm able to more easily and effectively kind of grade your work, and we're all good. So that was the addition. All right, that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.